Welcome, everybody. You've been working all day, and now it's after work, or good morning if you're watching this on YouTube at 7:45 in the morning. If the handful of people that decided to watch this right off rip is kind of crazy. So thank you for that over on YouTube. We got a lot to talk about today, and it's a lot to catch up. So a lot of it is going to be like short subjects and whatnot, but there are two big ones that I think we could get into good conversations with y'all in tonight. So first, before we get going, we got our question of the day. So let me know. And if you're watching this on YouTube, let me know in the comments down below. We're in the second half of September. So I'm curious to know, with all these games that are dropping over the next like 6 to 8 weeks, specifically September has quite a few games dropping between now and the end of the month. What September launch are you looking most forward to and planning on picking up? So let me know. And for everybody that's watching right now, let me know in the comments. We'll scroll through, we'll check that out. Some housekeeping notes we got again. I mentioned this yesterday, or sorry, I mentioned this on Monday's stream, but we got Blue Satire's A Academy. I believe he posted up today's post out here. Yes. Okay, here we go. So for Wednesday, September 17th, y'all make sure y'all go show all these damn homies some damn love. You still got a couple people that are even going live right now. So y'all go show them some damn love out here. And we will continue to support the damn homie. I'm gonna go up on Friday with Kronos to support the homies Indie Appreciation Week out here. So everybody that's been a part of this is obviously playing an indie game and showing their appreciation for that particular indie game. So y'all continue to support the homie Blue. And then the second thing was, we did mention this already, but the episodes, they've been going up on YouTube. Second one from Monday's stream went up this morning. So we are caught up. I'm going to try my best. If we end here at 2 a.m. tonight, I'm going to try my best to make sure that I have that ready for tomorrow morning. How I'm going to do that, I don't know. Maybe I don't sleep. We'll figure it out. So that's housekeeping notes. We also got, tomorrow. Actually, I lied to y'all, but check it. Tomorrow morning, 7:45 a.m. Again, if you're watching this on YouTube, it's already up. The LI Retro panel that I did for the Save Room, A Brief History of Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3 is going up tomorrow. Very, very fair warning. The audio is kind of cheeks. I had a DJI mic that I connected to my phone and hit record on, and it recorded up to 30 minutes. I didn't know that it like auto cut off on me. So the audio that you'll mostly hear towards the second half of that event, or that panel, I should say, I tried my best to clean it up. It is what it is. But when I got out of that panel, it did give me the idea to kind of like do more research on 2 and 3, because like obviously a lot of people know about 2, but like our community might not know a lot about like the behind the scenes of like what happened with 2 and 3. And 3 I kind of like speed ran because I only had 10 minutes left. So like I ran through the stuff on 3, and it gave me reason to kind of like do little mini series deep dive on that stuff. So that's a project for like a future YouTube thing, but I would start at Sweet Home and land at RE3 at some point. And who knows, if there's enough to talk about for some of the other development cycles for the Resident Evil games, I'll do it. But those 3 plus Sweet Home are like the ones that I definitely want to focus in on the laser line and kind of create video essays for those. So stay tuned for that. That is a much future project, but at least y'all get a taste of it at that panel, and it kind of gives me an idea to how to spruce up that panel and kind of like tune it up a little bit more to make it a little bit more cleaner for the next time. And hopefully now that I know how to work through the audio kinks on my own end, and also remember to hit the record button on my camera the next time, we'll we'll make sure that the next panel I do is a little bit more well organized. But yeah, exactly, Wiccan. We learn, we learn, we learn. Hey, this stream doesn't look like how Jelani described it. Yeah, I don't know what he was talking about thigh slapping for. Cat, what's going on? Heather, what's going on? Um, we got one quick, well, not even a quick correction time. Actually, before I even touch that, some of y'all answered the pinned comment. So let me scroll up over here because there was, I think Heather had mentioned, not y'all clipping the turtle. Y'all are sickos out here. I just saw that. It's a lap clocking on in as well. I think Heather had mentioned Sonic Cross Worlds. Is that's the racing game that's coming out, right? We have a little bit on that later on too, so that's funny. Devlinator mentioned Final Fantasy Tactics. I think I think I caught everything. I think we're good here. Yeah. So if anybody else has anything that they plan on picking up or they're really excited for in terms of games that are dropping in September, let me know. We'll keep on. I'll keep an eye on that one for sure. Uh, that Crossworlds one is so nutty. It's literally Smash Bros, but for Sonic Racing. It's hilarious. Roman, what's going on? Definitely no thigh slapping here. That's crazy. Nah, Jelani was wilding out describing a Joe stream. I was into, yo, that had me cracking up, cat. I was like, what is this man talking about? The man's typed me up, but then he like he was saying everything underneath the sun that I was like, wait, I only did that one time. What do you mean? Oh my god. Also, by the way, cat. There we go. I had to do it. I had to do it. Listen, it's an informal podcast show. I'm sorry. For everybody that's watching this on a VOD on playback, this is what to expect on a stream. All right, so on to correction time real quick, or like semi-correction, because I was still very much learning and I made some assumptions as well, but it is something important to note, and it's something that I'm going to try to keep myself on now that we're, getting back into all of this again. And it went back to last week's conversation. That's not even the right scene. It went to last week's conversation about this whole patent situation with Pokemon and how they um filed a patent for the Pokemon summon, the basically using a summon to fight another character that is using a summoned character to battle. Um, we were talking about this, and this was the part that I was like, this is too much text. Uh, and I backed away from it. And I was like, y'all can read that, y'all can figure it out from there. But there is a very important thing to note on that I do want to make a correction on, because I was like, this is probably targeted towards specifically towards Palworld and their lawsuit that's going on here. And one thing to also really, really, really note that's super important is that this patent was filed before Palworld came out. Obviously, it was probably in development at that point, but I saw it right at the beginning over here. It's somewhere within the oh my gosh. Of course, now that I'm like scrubbing through it, I can't find it. I looked at it on my phone and it was like within this first thing. I don't even think I went. Yeah, I didn't go down here. Uh but I did just want to make that quick correction on that. That I because I think what my wording was, I said this patent probably is, to combat Pal World, but it was like, okay, they clearly made this patent prior to that. Um Now I can't, bro, I'm going crazy. I know I saw it because it says something about like 2023 or 2022 was when their patent was filed and Palworld wasn't out yet. Didn't Palworld come out last year? Right? I'm pretty sure. Watch, I'm looking right at it and like I'm missing it. Uh let's scroll down a little bit. No, because I definitely missed out on. Oh, here we go. Okay, I was like, there's more text over here. Bum, bum, ba, dun, dun, dun. Sorry. I want to find. There we go. Okay, This one went very smoothly for Nintendo. Much patent applications initially faced rejection, at least of some of the claims, and require some tweaking and persuasion. But the application that led to 397 patent was filed on March 2023, and the USPTO never raised any concern. It just decided this summer to grant it, and it was issued last week. That's what it was. There we go. I was like, I know I saw it somewhere here. And that was the one in regards to the summoning a character to fight between them. So yeah, and Palworld did come out last January. Okay, yes, yeah. So there's that. I just wanted to make that quick correction because there was there was a lot of information going around, and I was just like, this is too much and beyond my headspace, and I just wanted to at least clarify that one. Sonic Crossworlds is the Sonic Kart. Yeah, no, I dude, there's a commercial that we're gonna watch in a minute here that I I'm like, okay, we're back. We are back. Reese, what's going on, homie? How you doing? Chanti clocking on in. Like me and Hunter said, if Digimon battles, that's a bigger beast, especially financially. Yeah, it's like it's clearly them protecting their own IP. In this case, it is what it looks like. Um, but I don't see them going after people like willy-nilly about it, you know? Like they're not, like I said, they're not gonna go after Final Fantasy, they're not gonna go after Digimon, they're not gonna go after gosh, let me name some Persona, Shimigami Tensei. And you know, it's like if they really wanted to, things like Temtem exist, but I don't know what this means for like any future indie stuff. If like they do this and X, Y, and Z happens, sort of thing. Like technically, I guess this means they could say, "Hey, you know, we're you're kind of going on infringing on our patent here," but also, are they really gonna be that petty and go after it? Who's to say? Nintendo is kind of crazy, but this is also Pokemon Company. But that lawsuit against Palworld is Nintendo and Pokemon Company coming together to, you know, combat against some of the things they feel may have been, you know, infringement upon for sure. In certain areas. That game itself, the game itself, I played it before, like this, like all these other updates that have come out since then, and it is different enough that it's not. But yeah, the way you catch with the way you catch the pals and the way you can battle with them because you got to throw them out to battle. Yes, I will give them that, but that's kind of like where the line stops from there, you know? It's more of like a survival. It's like a Rust almost when it comes to like how you're treating all these pals, and like you also get guns and stuff. You're very much like it's like parts Fortnite, parts survival, it's a little bit of everything going on in there, and like I've heard it's only gotten more advanced from there, you know? Gliz, what's going on? Oh yeah, hell hath no fury like Nintendo Score. I mean, yeah, they also, you know, they do go after the ROM sites as well too, and I get that from like a piracy standpoint, but I also am a believer in in preservation in games that like if they aren't released anywhere that or like if they're locked behind consoles that the game becomes crazy expensive. I'm gonna give a perfect example right now. Rule of Rose, right? We just played that game. So minimum $500 if I'm trying to buy it in my region, right? Uh, and yeah, no, I'm not gonna fork that over. I'm sorry, you know. It's like if they were to say re-release it on even through the subscription services, you know, that they have for like the PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2 library or whatever. Okay, cool. That's a legitimate way to play it, but I don't have that access. So that's where like my lines are drawn between like preserving in various ways, right? I think there's a place where you can have both and let it be. But moving on from the corrections, we'll drop into the news because we got 4 topics here, and then we got some trailers to watch, and then we'll get into more Pal World later on, and that's why I wanted to start off with that because later on, we got some cool stuff from there. And then we'll close off with the Silk Song. Man, every indie developer seems anchored right now. It's crazy. But next week, aside from Tokyo Game Show, we got Kojima doing a 10th anniversary celebration called Beyond the Strand. And Kojima is going to be updating everybody with projects that he's been working on. We know 2. One of them's OD, and I forget how the other one is pronounced, but it has, I think it starts with a P or something. Someone will correct me on that one. Plus, there's also, I don't know if one of those is no, it's one of them is that Jordan Peele is like working on it. That's what it is. For some reason, I had in my mind that there was a movie also being made there. Who knows? Kojima probably making a movie too. At that. But yeah, no, that's pretty cool because I feel like we don't necessarily hear from Kojima directly himself as much, but there are updates on the game when it happens. And to see something like this, where it's like potentially a direct style, we'll just say, for a lack of better phrasing, um, we'll have to tune in on that. TGS being next week, it's going to be a hot mess. As soon as there's a lick of Resident Evil news, I'm stopping the world to watch that. I'm just a fair warning to everybody. If we're in the middle of the game and something Resident Evil drops, yeah, no, I'm there 100% because Capcom's doing stuff, Bandai Namco's doing stuff. I would imagine we would get something from Sony. I know there's rumors of a state of play. I think Xbox is already planning on doing something at TGS as well. So we'll probably see some more JRPG company collaborations in that regard too. Ooh, excuse me, because they've already been working with partners in Japan to like, you know, post up more games over there and get Game Pass day one stuff. So we might even see maybe a little bit more Persona 4 remake, Golden remake, whatever you want to call it, on that as well, considering it's Atlas Sega. So you might see some more stuff there. I would hope from Sega in particular, the big 5 or like the 5 games that they showed off like 2 years ago or whatever. I think it was at the Game Awards. Where it was like Crazy Taxi remake, Streets of Rage remake, and like 3 other games. I think Shinobi was one of them. Shinobi had dropped, right? Or is that just the ones that we got were 2 separate Shinobi? I feel like those were 2 separate Shinobi games, but there was one from no Strider. I think is no Strider's Capcom. One of the ninjas. But yeah, freaking I would hope we see one of those games at least be announced for like a release at some point because it was quite a while ago and they kind of went silent on that and we hadn't heard anything since. Um, but yeah, as far as like new games go, I really don't know what to expect because Tokyo Game Show, I always feel like there's games that do get announced and it's usually nothing that like I particularly pay attention to, but considering what has been this year so far as games go, I feel like it's been like crazy with the amount of like indie games, with the amount of like third party drops in particular. Like I feel like the ball has been really rolling this year. There's been a surplus of video games. It has been absolutely nuts. And like I keep saying, these next 6 to 8 weeks are gonna be insane as far as games go. It's nuts. I need Persona 6. Ooh, it's crazy to think, and I forget what I was listening to, but I completely forgot that Persona 5 was a PS3 game that started on the PS3 and then made its way to the PS4 and just like Skyrim is seemingly everywhere. You can play Persona 5 on your fridge now at this point. I wouldn't be surprised if it'll be on the toaster next, you know? Uh, hell yeah, for real. Why they always need to make us wait 10 years? I mean, considering all the dialogue sequences that they have and like all the personality connections, that's a lot of script to be writing for multiple characters in a video game. Also, Janelle's mom, I appreciate you. I got you with the hydrate in a second. Um, but yeah, that's Kojima. And speaking of Sega, we do have an amazing 30-second ad of Sonic Racing Cross Worlds out here that we will play. Let me turn off the music for a second. Um, this just harkens back to like the console wars of the 90s, and I love it. But like, it's not even like a personal jab. It's more like, an at fun cheap shot. So we're gonna play it here. It's the most recent Sega ad for
We all
Sonic
know
Racing
that kart
Cross
racing
Worlds.
game. It's great. We don't need to show it to you. But what if you can blast through and race on a whole nother level?
Crazy.
What if you could warp
Hot
across
shots.
different dimensions, fully customize and build out your machine, and compete head-to-head across different platforms? Or what if you want to roam around on the open road?
That's crazy. Not the truck. Not the not the Winnebago. They even did the Sega. I didn't even catch that. Oh my god, dude. I'm gonna switch topics real quick because the last one will leave. Oh, the last topic for news will leave on a happier note. But this one, man, this game I have been hearing and seeing nothing but like people very very upset about Skate 4 right now on my feed. They have just been like making fun of this game left and right, and I had the unfortunate I like just missed the end of the crash out, but poor Jomar has been looking for this game, looking forward to this game for a hot minute, and my man said, nah, this game needs to be shut down now. Is I'm paraphrasing, but like, damn. Yo, Skate 4 is getting savaged in early Steam reviews, but these clips are incredible. And what I keep seeing is people doing the freaking Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time link roll here, which is hysterical. Because apparently, like, the traversal is faster on without the skateboard than it is on a skateboard, which is hysterical to me. But I guess there's like certain gaming mechanics that haven't really, been fleshed out. I also didn't know that this was free to play as well. We'll read a little bit about this in a second, but I just wanted to show you. My man is grinding on the floor, bro. He's spin dashing, bro. He's doing the Ocarina of Time speed run. This man's doing the Mario 64 right now. Yahoo! Yeah! 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 Yahoo! Ha! Yeah! 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 Oh my god. The Mario Sunshine slide is crazy. Oh my god. Clapping slows your descent? No shot. No shot. Wait, wait, wait. What? Bro, what in the Mary Poppins? No way. That's crazy. Nah, she's really Mary Poppins. What? Nah, not gently falling down. No. Hold on. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Let's read this real quick. But I think you get the point. This is off Kotaku. Skate 4, officially titled Skate, Seriously, EA? Oh, I'm reading what they're saying. Arrived on Steam in early access yesterday. Whew, that's an early access, all right. The reaction has been swift and harsh. Full Circle's reboot of the beloved extreme sports sim franchise is getting hammered with negative reviews, bashing it as mostly empty, soulless, and constantly reminding you to spend money and everything I didn't want. But I see the incredible clips of players doing ridiculous nonsense, and I immediately become transfixed. So yeah, that was another big complaint that I had heard Joe Mart say, was that they've given you every opportunity to just like, hey, pay us X amount, and you pay us X amount, and and pay us X amount, and so yeah, riddled with microtransactions. We get it's a free to play, but also like when it's like constantly in your face, that's a little aggressive. Skate 3 came out well before our current age of social media brain rot, but clips of Jesus shredding to Pearl Jam have still made the stuff of internet legend. I have no idea if Skate 4, excuse me, I mean Skate will be able to rekindle the same grungy magic of a lost skater age, but I can say based on some new clips going viral that it does not seem like an entirely lost cause. I mean, when in doubt, you gotta make fun, you know? You'll find a contradiction on games subreddit as well, with reactions that oscillate between "what a disappointment" and "shut the F up and let me skate in peace." One player summed it up like this on Blue Sky: "The gameplay is so good, I just wish it wasn't soulless. Doesn't capture the charm of the old games, and the tutorial is way too handholdy." Okay, that's a fair thing. Um have I told you that you can clap midair to stop yourself from instantly falling? It's a shame that EA fumbled the bag so badly at launch. The always online requirement alone kept tons of players from being able to easily hop into the game on day one, thanks to server outages and long queue times. Dude, you know what's crazy? It's an open world skate game. Why do you not have, and I'm sorry, I know it's not as easy as flipping a freaking switch, but I'm gonna rant for a second. It's a skating game, dude. It's an arcade skating game. This is the type of game, and this is the problem with everything being always online. There's no reason this game should have not had an offline mode. What? Oh man. That's insane. I'm sorry. I'm feeling for everybody that's like playing this game, or that was anticipating, like, they had high expectations for this game. All the skate heads. I was a Tony Hawk Pro Skater kid. I never got into the skate series, and I understand this one is free to play. But also, like, and I get free to play, you're gonna have broken stuff, especially in early access. You're gonna have broken stuff. But in offline mode, dog, come on, man. A microtransaction shop also doesn't seem a good fit for the plumbing the nostalgia of mid 2000s gaming, when companies didn't try to nickel and dime for fun mood. Many of these issues can be solved. Content can be added. That's the whole point of early access, after all. That okay? So yeah, we kind of said the same thing, except I was a little more angry. Uh, Fortunately, you don't have to be a Skate 4 defender. I mean, skate apologist, or even brave the launch week woes for yourself to feast on what other players are cooking up, dude. The clapping video almost made me cause a scene. Absolutely incredible. I'm gonna be thinking about it all day. Yeah, no, this is goated. This takes the cake. This absolutely takes the cake. Come on, Hierarch, what's going on? I Jomar was in pain on stream. I feel so bad because he genuinely like has been like mad excited for this. That's the one person that I am like, damn, nah. I know he's gonna cook with this, and fucking, give it a few months. I am curious to see, because like that's the other thing too. Like you're always gonna hear the loudest now during an early access type joint. What? It's the dead body laying down for me. Yeah, you're always gonna hear like the loudest stuff happen now, but if you give it a few months, I think within time, it's never too late. I feel like in this day and age to kind of change things around, as long as a company is willing to back the developers and being able to give them time to do this. And it is interesting that this is an early access game too, on top of it, because it makes you think that this was supposed to be their original release date to hit whatever milestones they were supposed to hit. And knowing that, for maybe whatever, and this is, again, this is just me hypothesizing, so don't take this, word for word, but my thought here is seeing this as early access. They needed to hit a milestone, so they launched it under early access to then be able to, move on to the next thing, get enough money from the microtransactions to continue development of this game to get it out of early access and actually be a fully playable game, where then, that'll be the next opportunity to bring people in and be like, okay, yeah, because you're not going to get everybody day one on this as far as like early access. Because even for me, sometimes I'm very picky with that, where I'll be like, I usually try to wait for a game to like fully launch. There have been exceptions, or there's been times where I'm like, wait, this game is early access, and I pick Killing Antidote was the perfect example, because I was like, oh, I feel like this is the full game. I think Heartworm, even, I was like, I don't think at first I realized that was early access, but that was a full freaking game, and like we got what, 12 hours of like game out of that. That was kind of nuts. um but yeah, it's unfortunate to the team that's working hard on getting this together, and hopefully, maybe in 6 months, they'll be able to, turn this one around, and people will be praising Skate, kind of like, no, I always bring No Man's Sky as the perfect example. No Man's Sky was absolutely an early access game masked as a full price game, and look where it's at now. That is a Cinderella story if I've ever seen one out of anything that's been like an online only type joint. That's a big turnaround. Shoot, even Final Fantasy 14 had that, where they closed out the original story and then, shut it all down, revamped it, and we got what we got now. Do early access games cost less during release? It depends on the publisher. Excuse me. It depends on, when they upload those games, whether or not they choose to. Some people do is they'll charge less for early access, and then when the game is coming out, like when the game gets the 1.0 released, they then, up the price to what the, original price is. And we also got an ad break coming up in just a moment here, y'all. Jawan, what's going on, homie? Heartworm is like that right now, where it's $15 right now because it's still in early access, but they mention it in the little excerpt that they do plan on raising the price when the game is fully ready to go. Because if you charge full price, then there's an expectation, that part, to an extent. And the only reason I say that is because, like, even if they're saying like, hey, you're buying this now with the you can phrase it as like, hey, you're paying full price now, but with the expectation of like, here's our roadmap. And if there's a roadmap, then you can at least like hold them to that. And if they don't meet that roadmap, then it's like, all right, what the F? Like, I'm here, I paid full price day one, day zero, right? And you're not beating all these different things. But if you also have clear communication on that, we'll get into that later on. We'll get into that soon, actually. Then there's at least, some line of sight. And I think that's been like the theme of this week with a lot of these bigger topics that we've been talking about. Is just like, if developers are allowed to give that line of communication to everybody that's been in it, I think you earn the trust of the fans that way, more so than just like completely not saying anything, and it's like you took their money and they ran with the bag, and now they're working on another game, and then this game gets shut down, sort of thing. I'm talking worst case scenario here, but it has happened. Oh yeah. Kai with the clocking in. Watcher, what's going on? Watcher's got September for Final Fantasy Tactics. Let's go. That's 2 for Final Fantasy Tactics. And Trails in the Sky as well. I'm holding off on rebuying since I have all on Steam. That's fair enough too. And those games always go on sale too. I will say it's because it's NIS. That's is NIS publishing that, or is that Marvelous? I don't recall which one. Whichever one it is, that's doing the publishing for that one. Um, it's NIS. Okay, yeah, their games they occasionally go on sale. You might have to wait a while for them, but you'll if you're patient enough, you'll catch it for sure. Because I feel like they go on sale more so than Marvelous games. Marvelous games just disappear physically, and then you just never see them again. You know, that's the pain in the butt part. Yeah, that's why Kickstarter got such a bad rap for games because of that. Brother, tell me about it. There's one game on there that I backed and I regret it. It's never coming out. There were three things that I had ever backed on Kickstarter. I got two out of the three. The second one that I had backed just came out last year, Hatch Tales. That one took a little bit of a hit for a while, and even people were getting angry about that because there was lack of updates on that. But eventually, the things turned around, game launched, and I don't know how it did sales wise, but shout out Jules Watcham. He's the developer of that game. We go back. But yeah, that's one of those that took a bit of time. Even I was like, is this coming out? Did I get swindled? Not that did I get swindled. Like I knew it would come out eventually. It was just like, man, it's a little bit of a bummer there. Because you want to do right by the fans, but also there is a line of communication that should be kept, except especially for something like Kickstarter. I called my local game store the other day to make sure I could get it because EV Games website was a problem. Oof. Oh, Final Fantasy Tactics, right? Yeah. Oh man. Oh, that's three for Tactics. Let me scroll up here. Did I miss anything? Jawan, what's going on, homie? Also, Peace Sphere, what's going on? How you doing, homie? Wasn't this game in development for years? I don't know what the development cycle was. Why he falling like Spider-Man? You've seen the animation, right? When did Skate 4? Nice. I love autofill. 4 years. That's not bad. I mean, it's a long time, but like we're in the year of game dev cycles being much longer this generation. 4 years sounds about right, especially building a game from the ground up. Want me to make someone disappear is insane. EB Games, yeah, it's because Canada still has EB Games, and we have GameStop here consumed EB Games. Yeah, they used to be here. Funny enough, I remember, and I hope I'm remembering this right. EB Games used to be in Queen Center Mall, and now it's a GameStop. Or, well, I don't even know if it's GameStop now because that memory was from 15 years ago now. But yeah, there was a EB Games in that store. It was very small. It was like on one of the upper floors, as like the slim door, and then like you walk into like basically it was the size of my living room. It was like the size of that EB Games, egregiously small. Unc would definitely remember, bro. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you're not forgetting things. I didn't think you aged that fast. That's nuts. That's wild. All right, so that's Skate 4. Let's watch that falling animation one more time. I'm sorry. It's so good. This is literally Mary Poppins in Dude, why is the emote slowing you down? Who play tested this? It's the soft landing to like actual concussion that happens. She's like, huh. She took an Ambien or something like. moving on. We will not watch this whole thing, but what I will do is also, how did I not subscribe? I will absolutely do one of these where I'm going to share this link in the chat too. Someone made a portable OG Xbox. How crazy is that? Let's take a look here. Let's skim around and see what exactly they did to make this
destroyed. I know. This obviously planted Xbox. The
That's
Xbox
great.
was well known as being the biggest, heaviest, most power-hungry
This
console
dude-
anybody had ever seen. So what better console to make into a handheld? But a hard drive timeout,
This
it might still
man-
not be the hard drive. Both these drives
So
are on
old
the
school.
same
MK,
IDE
what's
cable, so
going
that
on,
could be
dog?
affected. The DVD drive could also interfere with the signal and give a hard drive error. And of course, I guess it's possible that the hard drive's just not getting the right power. Except the voltages are fine, and the IDE cable didn't fix it
So
either.
he
This
goes
is a wicked
through
look. Again, shall we?
testing this
Yes, it's
Xbox.
One whole core.
And
We've
then
got
takes
some
it
RAM
apart
here,
once
the
he gets it
NVIDIA
working.
Southbridge, which manages all of the inputs and outputs and
The
things.
fact
This
that he
chip
got
handles
it
the power
working and
button.
fixed
Thing I need to
a
do is
dead
prepare
Xbox
this
is
card
nuts.
to be used in an Xbox because it's not normal formatting. But the only PC that I've got that has the
He's
right
got a
connection to plug this
DDR
into
machine. Hey,
is
yo!
this one. So this is how we're gonna be doing the hard drive formatting. The program to use for this is called Fat Explorer.
That's
the original hard drives are
crazy.
locked to the system. Having a mod chip circumvents that, so you don't need a locked hard drive anymore. But even
This
then,
man has
Windows
a-
can't read an
no,
Xbox
that's a
hard drive
pump
by
machine.
default. And for some reason, it thinks
That's
that
a
my
pump it
CF
up
card is
machine.
too small to
Shit,
use.
what the-
So reason
yo,
why I
hold
had to
on,
hit it
I
to
need
get it
this
to eject
dude's
before
basement.
They get old and start slipping. You can actually replace this through the
This is
couple of jumper
crazy.
wires, and hopefully that'll work. Beep.
Yeah, that shit
Should
hurts.
unplug these things before I touch them. Beep. It's not even plugged in. It's just charged capacitors biting me. So now, before
Yep.
I put another power
Yeah.
supply in this, I've jumpered this one so
That
that it's
shit
always
hurts.
on. That's what this wire used to do. That and do things and things. I'm
So
also
what is he?
hoping the
Is he
batch
using a portable
video
DVD
dock
player?
thing that got ruined by a shouty man. I figure it's got a screen, it's got
Oh
speakers,
my
and it's got
God.
batteries.
No,
Those are all
it's
things
a
that I'm gonna
freaking
need for my portable
iPod
Xbox,
dock.
although it doesn't have
What?
AV input, so hopefully it's using AV from the iPod to here and I can intercept that and do things and things. I'm also hoping the battery works because I
Son,
don't know if it does.
this
and
is
I've actually had
great.
this plugged in for
Hold
quite a while,
on, I didn't even know
the second
Memorex
battery
did that.
is just connected straight to the batteries. This one though has a little circuit board. It's probably a battery management system of some kind. I'm just going to temporarily delete that battery management system, then wire all the batteries together, and hopefully set this charging off my power supply. We're getting a
Dude,
bit of current flow
this
now.
guy is
I'm
a
gonna go for
literal
about a quarter
mad
of an amp.
scientist right now.
Found two separate grounds, which is bit straight.
Okay,
memory
hold on,
card
'cause now he's
slots
going
and
to the
other memory
controllers.
card slots on the bottom. Why did they need two memory card slots on a console that had a built-in hard drive that all of the games save to? And that's not just two memory card slots, that's two memory card slots per controller. So you can connect 8 memory cards to the Xbox. Most people never even saw a memory card.
Yeah,
Hey,
but those
where's the
memory
chip
cards
that
were like
runs the
what,
thing?
5 megabytes or something
There
like
it
that?
is. Oh, wow. Looking up the
This
part
is
number,
back in the
it's
day,
just
man.
an off-the-shelf AVR microcontroller with a built-in USB connections for the AV ports.
Dude.
So hopefully I can get to them from the other side. More hot glue. This board's gonna go, I guess it has to go here because the ribbon cable is very short. I'm trying to let the hot glue be an insulating layer between these boards and the motherboard. Hopefully that's successful.
Oh, God.
Ow,
Yep,
ow.
yeah,
Hot
hot
glue
glue.
is hot.
That'll
More
do that.
hot glue. This bit here has some pretty high
Hot
voltages on it, so
glue.
I guess I'll just extra hot glue it to make sure that they don't do any
I
jumping.
didn't even know you can
Jumping
do
high
that with a
voltages
board.
are not friendly. Ow. Now for the controller, I'm not entirely sure how I'm
Bro,
going to attach
my
it,
man
but I reckon I need to probably
fucking
put some
sawed
slots so the motherboard can go into the controllers.
He circle sawed the damn thing,
The other one
not
has
the
a memory
circle
card
saw. Why
slot
is
there,
that so
but
massive,
I guess
sir?
one memory card slot's
Please.
gonna be enough. Oh, I've got an Ethernet port in the way.
Jesus,
Well,
he's
here's what
stressing
we
me
do
out.
with things that are in the way.
Nah, man.
We
This man
make
is
them
stressing me out.
not
I
in
love
the
how just, like,
way. I said
raw this
not-
dude
they're
is.
not in
He
the
does
way.
not give enough.
And the AV port too. No,
Bro,
I was just doing a
people
bit of
would
additional trimming,
like
and I've cut
trim.
through two
Can
of
you
my
not use a
wires.
Dremel?
I said I was
think
sick
this has
of
got to
prep
be
work.
for like the content part because
Finally,
this
hot
man,
glue, hot glue.
yo,
I like hot glue.
that's
Hot
crazy.
Glue glues all
That's
the
a big ass
things.
circle saw
I
to be
really hope this
using.
works. Now I need to connect the controller to this controller port connector, except it's not behaving. I want it to come off. Here's what plugging in the controller looks like. I don't need any of the connections on this power supply. I can make this much
Please
smaller.
don't crush it. Please don't. Oh my God. Why is there gook coming out of it?
That's hot. Ooh, slight regrets after using the angle grinder to cut those connectors off. I almost completely obliterated one of the traces here, but I don't think it's an important one. I reckon we're good. I've decided I'm not going to use any of the power management from this iPod thingamajig. It's just not really compatible with this power supply. I'm not going to be able to pull enough current. More voltage. But as long as they're even, you can also do combinations, some in parallel and some in series. So you can get more voltage and more current. With 2 groups of 3 batteries, was outputting 7.4 volts at an amount of current, I don't know what these are rated at. And it's hailing now, so if you can hear clicking in the background, that's just
Gotta lurk for one and say hi, Retro Jenny. What's going on?
This configuration
I appreciate the lurk, homie. Y'all go lock it in with Retro Jenny. That's the homie right here.
Stuff wherever it fits now.
We're just watching someone make a portable OG Xbox right now.
Is solely held up by capacitors.
Oh my god!
There. Oh no!
This is
not the plug that goes there.
Nuts.
That goes in. Oh, I might still. I don't know.
Nuts.
I might have stuffed
He
everything
shot
up.
glued.
I've used alternate points.
Let's hope he doesn't saw his hand up. Bro, that's what I'm saying. That's
this is my AV cable. Thankfully, I did remember to write down how the AV connector connects to the board before I destroyed it. It's also worth mentioning that as well as the video and audio signals, you have to attach the mode pins. In my case, I have to ground these 2. Wire is great for soldering to small parts, but you really need to sort out what's going to happen with this cable.
Oh my god.
This could go horribly wrong. 3, 2, 1, on.
The little Mickey Mouse speakers.
He's good. It's not doing anything.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. The batteries are flat. I wonder if that's because they're completely dead and I've just permanently attached dead batteries into this? Or if they just need charging.
Good job.
Hopefully they just need charging. Well, I've got 12 volts here.
Okay.
Plug this. Aw, why can't I plug that in? What about this one?
Good job.
Yay! All right, the batteries are charging, but
Okay.
I should also be able
That's
to
a good
test
sign.
this just on the power.
Dude,
Although it's only
this
a 3
is
amp power
a
supply,
monstrosity.
So
this is
okay,
Frankenstein.
come on, please,
Why did he
please.
do this? Dude, this is wild. I only know how to break things, not build it. Yeah, Jenny, this is nuts.
So it could be what? Oh, I didn't do that though. It didn't spin the disc though. Okay, the screen should come on now, but I'm not really expecting it to boot. I think it's that power OK signal. Yeah, we got the screen, but I think I need 3.3 volt on the power OK line. All right, soldering through hot glue is surprisingly easy. Oh, whoops.
Man's definitely an engineer that just like tinkers with this on his off time. And this is a menace-free right now.
If it doesn't work, I'm just gonna have to go and cry myself to sleep.
These cables being out in the open like this are stressing me. All these boards.
I've got the screen on. Why? Please turn. Please.
Not grabbed by the ghoulies on top of that, man.
What I found was that the DVD drive only had 2.5 volts where it was supposed to have 5 volts. Since I can't access the motherboard to try and find out why, I just ran a patch cable connecting 5 volts directly to where that 2.5 volts was. You should never do that, but watch this.
You should never do that. I'm gonna do it. Let's go.
Wait a minute, the disc still isn't spinning.
Uh-oh.
Oh! This is the first time I've actually tested it with a disc.
After a really long
It's
time.
taking a really long time. I suspect it isn't working.
After another really long time.
Turns out the DVD drive's died again. It's not resistors this time, all the voltages are good, I tried recapping it even, but no, it's dead. Here's another one. This is a Thompson drive. It's known to be the crappiest one of the lot. The smallest I can get it is also a lot bigger than the other drive.
Do you see the disk drive? He pulled a Joe.
Okay,
he probably messed up the
I think
cable.
we're on the right track again. This L-shaped PCB is pretty much the same as this PCB off the Samsung drive, except this time it's used to extend this ribbon down to this connector. To get rid of this thing, I'm going to modify a drive cable out of a 3DO console. Peeling this apart worked the last time I tried it, so hopefully it works again. Yeah, look at that.
I'm learning so much right now.
But thankfully they didn't change the pin order or anything, so I can just clip the ends off to make it work. I do have to remove this ribbon cable and put the new one on this piece. Soldering is something that this piece of ribbon is absolutely not designed for. I'm pretty sure I succeeded. Surely it's safe to hot glue this in now.
Now, why is he just hot gluing everything? Oh my god, why?
Okay, maybe I'm not super confident.
I feel like this should not be...
Oh, it's spinning! Yes.
No, I own a Dremel. This is crazy, though.
Please load.
It never loaded. Oh my.
I haven't touched this thing in about 3 weeks because
Ah,
it was
I'm
very
the
mean to me
potato.
and wouldn't work properly. So I've recovered from the emotional damage it caused me and I've had another look at it. I discovered 2 things. Firstly, 7 of the 8 untested Xbox drives I bought to fix this thing with don't work. And second, the one that kind of worked didn't
That's
work in
crazy.
this because the crimp I'd
That's
done
a
on
lot
the
of
IDE
money.
connector was bad and that's what caused all my problems. Watch
Yeah,
this.
when you're tearing
It's
things
actually
apart.
booting. Now we are on the home stretch. I just gotta put this thing together. Look at this. I've soft mounted it and everything. That'll give it a little bit of vibration
I'm the
resistance. I am a
potato.
little bit worried about the length of this ribbon here though. It was really short before and it could pick up some interference from the electronics I've got it running over down there. But hopefully it'll work. I feel like I'm saying hopefully a lot, but you've got to be hopeful, don't you?
Why does he have this
'Cause
pizza
if you're
cutter
not
right in the
hopeful,
center,
what
just
point
out in the
is
open
there
like
in
this? This
doing
is stressing me.
anything? It works.
It's blocking the
But we're not playing
screen.
it just
Oh my
yet.
god.
Firstly,
Okay,
look at this
okay.
masterpiece. This thing gave me so much trouble in every single way. But
Bro,
other
this
than the
is a
disk drive, it
walking
was almost all my fault.
fucking
But I
time
finally
bomb.
had some success with it, and I don't want anything getting in there and shorting it out, and I don't want to shock myself on the thing again either. So I need to give it a plastic housing. In my other videos,
thank God.
everyone's always like, why don't you 3D print a casing for it? So this time, my housing's gonna come off a roll. Except it's this roll. I'm not gonna 3D print a housing. Are you insane? I don't want a casing with lines all through it. See, look at that smooth finish. Hey, I reckon I can even keep the original labels for the ports. And the sticky rubber coating. Check that out. That looks like a retail product. Oh, this is turning out awesome. Oh, we definitely need this somewhere. Man, they put these things on real tough. I want this on my Xbox. And it's not. Oh, that's a shame. We can still use it. Yeah, good as new. Feast your eyes upon true portability.
My man put
It's
duct
so
tape. I'm
neat
sorry.
and tidy. It looks like it could have.
Son, what? My man duct taped the fucking hell. Oh my god. Why? I'm so happy we didn't skip that part. Oh my goodness. This is crazy.
I couldn't cover the
That
heat
is-
sinks because
That was a diabolical laugh. That was a wild laugh. That is the laugh of somebody who knows they can totally destroy the world.
they need to radiate heat away, otherwise it's going to overheat.
As a
Which I might
cosplayer,
do anyway
respect,
because I've deleted
yes.
the fan. I also wanted
As
to keep
someone
the compact
who
flash
has
card
major
accessible,
concern
although it is very
for
hard
all
to
the
pull out.
fire
We've got a power
hazards
input
that
up
this
here for
device
charging,
is
the
right
power
now.
switch in the corner here. This blobber
Brother.
group is our power light. On the other side, we've got the
I'm mad it
navigation and
works,
volume
yo.
buttons for the
Ask
screen. On the
Skywalker,
bottom,
what's
we've got
going
the original
on?
ports from the iWhat's-It thing. So we've got 2 headphone ports, a
Yeah,
line
no,
out,
this
and
is
an S-video
crazy.
port. I've never seen an S-video to headphone jack adapter,
Yeah,
so
that's
I
kinda
probably
crazy.
won't use that. I kept one of the memory card ports, so we can use a memory card, at least if you don't need to see
my
that part of the
God,
screen.
yeah.
And I stuck the speakers out on the sides
I mean,
here,
you've already
and now
got
they look
everything.
like
The
ears.
Xbox
Now it's time for our
button
first
kills me.
proper boot up.
Oh, and it sits on top like I'm stressed.
Hopefully. Good signs. Yes.
I'm so stressed. I'm so stressed right now. Oh my god, this is the most stressful video I've ever watched. This is crazy. This is crazy. Hey Rez, what's going
It's
on,
actually kind of
homie?
loud and very distorted. Invert thumbstick. Yes. It's the
I-
only way. There's already a save file on.
Did you forget the hot glue ball under the CD? No, I didn't, and that's the crazy part. Like, this is just nuts. Because this is crazy. This man concocted a portable Xbox, the OG Xbox.
Yeah, of course there is. It's
out
an
here.
Xbox. Let's play Zach. It's working. It's actually working.
This is
The screen
diabolical.
is so bad.
Big man,
it's
what's
really
going
hard for me
on?
to see where I'm going. And man, Halo doesn't look as good as I remember. Oh, wait on.
Well,
Let's
it's on a-
unplug the power. We're
Oh.
on batteries.
Oh.
There's no enemies anywhere.
Oh.
Why?
how long is the battery gonna last?
Oh, just grenading myself in the face. You have no idea
Here we
how
go.
happy I am that this thing is actually working
Here we
as
go.
intended. Hey, something to shoot. Wait, what's shoot? What's shooting this thing? Well, I'm out of ammo, so I'm just grenading everything.
Ew, no,
Never
I
really
would
got
never.
into Halo.
Nah,
I've
devils,
played
don't
through
lie.
most of it a
Don't
long time
lie.
ago,
Come
but then
on
it got
now.
to a point where it was like 15 minutes between the respawn point and the spot where I died
Oh
every single
my
time. Just got over it
God.
and left it alone then. You're right, fantastic. Good. Let's just run to the end. I got a plasma
Oh,
grenade.
man.
That's good. You can have the plasma grenade. Oh no, there's the plasma grenade.
All right, they're at 3 minutes.
You know, I kind of expected
Almost
this thing
4.
to be on batteries for like 1 minute and then just die. But it's
Yeah, he put double A rechargeables, by the way.
Doing it on the batteries.
This thing should
These
not last
batteries
this
are
long.
from 2006 and they hadn't been used since then. Their own battery controller
Oh my
refused to charge
god.
them. Do the enemies not give you ammo in Halo?
My bad, I missed notifications. Not you're good, dog. Never be sorry. Oh, hello.
Oh, the controller vibration
damage.
works. I didn't even realize until just now. I do wonder how much the laser likes the vibration. I wonder if I can turn up the brightness. I can, it just makes it more washed out. And so does the contrast. I think I've actually
that
made
screen is probably not the greatest either.
This has been running on batteries
9 minutes? Hold on. Okay, so it looks like it's gonna die soon. I just saw the skimming thing.
Oh, there it goes. All right, that's the battery life.
So if you speed run Halo,
it's saying
you can do this.
Something's wrong here. What you doing to me? The Xbox.
This man did not put hot glue so you can see the light as an indicator. Oh my god. I'm stressed. This man is stressing me out.
So I've made a portable Xbox. It's an actual real portable Xbox.
I just
it says
caught
Xbox
that.
And it's portable. And it actually works surprisingly well. It's very top heavy. It's willing to tip that way a lot. But it's not that much less pocket sized than the Switch 2.
Alright.
I wonder. It might have just overheated. If this thing has more battery life in it, this would be incredible. Let's try this. Yeah, we got cooling. No, my disc's not good enough. It's got scratches on the back. Unless a flat battery just causes disk read errors, which is definitely possible.
That fan is not gonna do much. Cesar,
yeah,
that fan can't
The battery was
much.
flat, and the disc stops being able to read once the battery gets below a certain level. The best part
brought
is
me
there's
out
no way
alert.
to know whether it's at the right
This
level.
is a portable
because there's no charge
Xbox.
meter or even charge light to tell you
it's
that
a
the battery's
portable
charged.
Xbox.
Oh, I just got an idea. This is gonna be so good. If I plug these
What's the
controller ports
problem?
in here, now I've got
What's the
controller ports
problem?
3 and 4.
No way is he doing this. No way is he doing. Yo, Press. Yo, everybody coming on in from Press's stream. I am so sorry. This has got to be the most stressful piece of the. This dude just pulled out the Steel Battalion controller set for his portable Xbox that he just put together, made out of duct tape, hot glue, and oh my god. I just realized what he pulled out right when you guys came in. Prez, what's going on? Thank you for the raid. Welcome on in, everybody's. And let's see this out. I have to see how long this battery. The battery lasted 9 minutes, right? And so now we've got a bigger controller, a lot more button input, probably some more power. I would imagine is required for this.
Everywhere. And someone sell me a new Steel Battalion.
The fact that he has this controller still is nuts.
This is not a real one.
It's the only game that's ever used this controller.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Yeah, it even runs on batteries. Except for I don't know what I'm looking at here.
My god.
Wash my windscreen. Where do I wash? Washing. There we go.
Oh my god. This is crazy.
Okay, I'm dead. We're done. I made a portable Xbox. We've got portable Steel Battalion. This might be the first ever portable Xbox to feature
is he not gonna let it die?
Yeah, can't help not being the first to make an actual portable Xbox. Thanks for watching. If you liked my video and you want early ad-free access to all my videos, plus at least one exclusive video and a photo of every single thing that I get from my video game collection, because I've been collecting for ages and I'm always getting new stuff and a lot of it's really interesting, then you can join me on Float Plane for $2.
No, because you have to see the amount of nonsense this dude did. He
that's all.
He's just chopping away everything willy-nilly using rechargeable batteries.
Connected up correctly. Now I don't have
like it's not a home console.
But I've got a little tiny bench, right? But that still didn't fix it. Then I re-crimped the IDE cable about 20,000 times, but that still didn't fix it. Then I soldered one of the original power lights onto the motherboard.
Thank you so much. Have yourself a good night. Get that food, get that rest.
From the emotional damage it caused me, and I.
This man
that's a shame.
He broke it in 3 ways.
Yeah, good as new.
It's the hot glue for me. The hot glue disrespected. Like, that's amazing right there. Oh my god. All right, so that covers all the news articles. Before we get into the game trailer for Marvel Cosmic that announced 2 new characters and the 4K movie trailer for Perfect Blue coming out on Blu-ray. And then we get into our deep dive discussions for our last two topics before we get on out of here and jump into Oz Your Dreams. We're gonna drop the raid video. Everybody coming in on Prezi Stream, thank you so much. We are on a partner push out here, so anybody that is able to keep a tab open while I am streaming goes such a long way. We're just basically trying to unlock the app, and as soon as we unlock the app, we can apply. We got everything else ready to go. Just need to unlock that app at this point. So I'll be right back. Y'all enjoy the raid video. I'm gonna play a different one because we just played the number one, so we'll play number 3 and I'll be right back. I hope I can perfect this to where we get it down to like an hour and a half tops of me yapping before we get to the games. To continue, we have the Marvel Cosmic Invasion trailer for 2 new characters that they announced. Black Panther and Cosmic Ghost Rider have been revealed, and here's that gameplay, so let's check it out. Marvel Comics. Boom. Oh, Thanos. Dude, I love the art anime. Excuse me. Like the art style that they've been showing the characters before getting into gameplay. Silver Surfer. Dude, this roster is nuts. There's Black Panther. Okay. Dude. Oh, and there's... Oh, I didn't realize that was Ghost Rider. So it's like Cosmic Ghost Rider different from regular Ghost Rider in terms of like lore. Bro, those guns look nuts. You know what's crazy? Call me nuts. It feels like they're gonna be adding like a Marvel vs. Capcom 2 style amount of characters. This does not feel like it's been filled yet. I think we still have more characters to go before November. That's the crazy part of this. But Daimu cooks. Daimu cooks with this stuff, man, every single time. Is that the end of the trailer? Okay, that's the end of the trailer. Okay. Up next, we got damn, a 2.5 minute trailer for Perfect Blue coming out on 4K. So let's check that out. Ghost Rider is Frank Castle. Stop. That's hysterical. The Angel of Love smiles at you. From the mind of the master filmmaker Satoshi Kon. Oh. Oh man, I don't mind it either, but sometimes I'd be feeling bad because I'm like, damn, I'm just talking here and like we got no game up, you know? My Andrea, what's going on, homie? I've never seen this. I've only heard of this movie. Oh. In theaters everywhere. Oh, this is in theaters? That's a big ass forehead. One of the most disturbing and captivating anime cult classics of its time. Yeah, I've only ever heard of it in name, knew nothing of what this was about. This is an anime cult classic, you must see it. No, I'm definitely what the? Just think, and like this is like my era of art style that I enjoyed. I love that 90s anime aesthetic, the late 80s, early 90s character art style. Oh, they showed titty. Jesus. Oh, they're showing everything right now. Well then, beautifully horrifying blank to blank. Perfect Blue. Yeah, that Ghost in the Shell, that Evangelion style Gundam Wing Ramna, Rurouni Kenshin, like that art style aesthetic. I don't know. For me, that's timeless. I would watch this Anaconda video, but I can't take the fact that Jack Black is in. It's Jack Black, Paul Rudd, Steve Zahn. I don't know who Steve Zahn is, but Jack Black and Paul Rudd in an Anaconda movie has me crying. Like, must watch it. It's hilarious. Should we watch it? We're veering off. A movie called Anaconda. I think they were just in the rainforest and there was an anaconda killing everybody. I think. Pogi, what's going on, homie? Oh my gosh. All right. So moving on from, hold on, where's my notes? Okay. So now we're getting ready for the deep dive. We got two, I would say, beefy conversation pieces that we can probably spend a little bit of time on before we end the show tonight. We still got Azure Dreams afterwards, but one is an update video from, we were talking about this at the beginning of stream, where we were talking about, the corrections on the Pokemon patents, and then a little bit, we got a little bit into the communication of developer versus, fans, and just keeping that clear line of communication on things being worked on and stuff like that when it came to Skate and other past projects. This is the Palworld developers Pocketpair actually keeping people up to date on what's happening prior to their 1.0 release. And it's not bad news. They're just being clear about what they're working on next, which I think is really cool. And you know what? Let's show them the floor on this one.
Hi,
because
everyone.
I think that this
Today,
is interesting,
I'd like to talk a
considering
bit about
everything that
the
has been
future of
happening.
Palworld and Pocketpair. But first,
I think we
I
get
want to
both
extend a big
sides, you know?
thank you to you all. Thank you so much for your kindness and support over the last 20 months. It truly means the world to us.
No, but I want a
Motivates
pig
us
and to
work even
cosplay
harder
Jack
to make
Black is
better and better
nuts.
games for you. Now,
Have you
let's
seen
talk
the
a bit
Mario
about
meme
Palworld.
of
Things are going to be a little different from here on
Metal
out.
Chris
And we want to
Pratt
take
is
this
voicing
chance
Metal
to explain
Mario,
why.
and
But don't worry,
Dry Bones is being voiced
it's
by
not
Dry
bad news.
Jack. And it's just a skeleton for his
Since
face.
Palworld's release, we've shipped 5 major updates.
Oh
each
my
adding new
god.
mechanics and improving the game in various ways. Version 0.2 introduced raids.
And now
feature
he's
many
going through the
fans have
history of
enjoyed
like
and one we've
their
continued to
development
expand.
cycle, which is kind of nice.
Version 0.3 brought the first new island, Sakurajima, along with many new pals and quality of life features. Version 0.4 shook things up with
Oh,
Favorite.
man, Pokey, I
A large
appreciate the
new
lurk,
landmass,
homie.
new faction, new pals, and many new mechanics. Version 0.5 brought crossplay to Palworld, allowing players on any system to finally play
Charizard looks
together.
different.
And finally, version 0.6, Tides of Terraria, was the long-anticipated Terraria collab, accompanied by many more.
Oh yeah, that's right. They did have a Terraria
features.
collab. Someone mentioned that in here. That's the only reason I
Now,
know that.
We've reached a crossroads and need to decide what comes next. While we have a lot of ideas for where we want to take Palworld, we also need to start thinking about Palworld 1.0. Beyond just adding new content, there's a lot of cleanup that needs to be done before Palworld can exit early
And
access.
actually,
It's no secret.
I'm gonna give credit to them. I never thought this game was gonna leave early access. I'm not gonna hold you. When this game dropped last year, I was like, oh, I can see this game being ditched in 6 months.
That Palworld has a lot of quirks and gems,
And
and we want to take the time
I'm
to
glad to
properly
have been
address
proven
those
wrong on that
before
one.
releasing the game. With that in mind, we plan to start that cleanup this year. Our goal is to ultimately release Palworld next year in 2026, and we think
he
taking the
said,
time now
Jank,
to
yeah,
fix
he's
those
being
problems
upfront
will
about
ultimately
it.
lead
He's being
to a
real.
better game. So, what does this mean? It means that things
Look
will
at
be
the
a
screens
little
to
quiet
see if
from
they're
us
using
for the
AI
rest
to
of
copy
this year.
Pokemon. I see Slack.
It also means our winter
Shut
update
up.
won't be as big as Favorite was. We hope our players understand
Oh my
that we're
god.
taking this extra time to
Nah,
improve the
they're
game
using Slack
overall.
to use AI.
Now, that said, it doesn't mean there will be no updates. We still do have a few surprises planned for our winter update this year. We just want to be transparent about where we're headed and the development of
A
Palworld
developer
going
being
forward.
transparent.
Development of Palworld is
Usually they're not
slowing
allowed
down
to.
or scaling back.
Usually,
Quite
you
the
know,
opposite.
they're withheld by
Palworld
publisher,
1.0
so
will be a
fair enough.
major milestone for us, and we have a
but it is
truly
cool to
massive
see,
amount of content
and I gotta
planned
give them
for
credit
the
to that.
1.0 update. Rather than rushing,
that they're running you
we
through their
believe that laying the right
milestones.
foundation now
It's literally what
will
they're
lead to
doing.
a better game in the end. We're really excited
Oh,
about
man.
this. And I hope our
Doctor,
fans
what's
will
going
be
on,
really
dude?
excited about this too. We plan to share some sneak peeks about Palworld 1.0 in the very near future. A quick note on Pocketpair's future. Many of you may already know this, but in January of this year, we launched Pocketpair Publishing. Pocketpair Publishing was born out of the desire to give back to the industry and help fun games get made. Thanks to Palworld's success,
I didn't
we're in a
even
very
know that.
lucky
That's
position
awesome.
and are able to help other
Damn.
developers and take risks. We want to use our success to help support others. Pocketpair Publishing won't be developing games, but rather we'll be helping other developers with things like funding, marketing, distribution, or just offering them some advice. We're already working with a number of developers and teams from around the world, and we hope you look forward to the games that these teams are working on.
Huh.
Pocketpair is also working on some other things. We don't have much we can talk about or share at the moment.
Oh,
but as
aren't
the
they working
company
on like a
grows,
dating
we continue
sim
to
thing
experiment
y'all were
with
telling
other
me about?
ideas for games. Of course, right now, most of the company's focus is on Palworld, but we want to stay true to our roots, which is why we've got several smaller teams tinkering away at ideas that hopefully will turn into fun games for you all to play. We'll have more to share about this in the near future as well. Once again, thank you all for your continued support of Palworld and Pocketpair. We will continue to try our best and communicate more openly with you, our fans, about what is going on. We love making games, and nothing makes us happier than when you, our fans, enjoy the games that we create. On behalf of everyone here at Pocketpair, thank you very, very much.
That's interesting. Yeah. I gotta commend them for like at least giving that line of communication. I mean, it was an early access game, and the big trope of early access games is they never leave early access, right? They do happen, but like the meme of it is they go up on Steam and then they're just sitting there in early access forever, and it's kind of like, all right, boom, why? Hold on, we'll let that run.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought this was the bathroom. Oh, good.
Ooh.
Just pretend it's the rivers of blood.
It's the rivers of blood, Leela. It's the rivers of blood. We gotta roll away. We gotta roll away. Leela, thank you for the Hundo Bitterinos. I appreciate you, homie. No, it's just really, really nice to see that when a developer is allowed to give that clear line of communication. Like I know you see it's pretty common in like the Kickstarter world, and very rarely do you see it in like the third party, first party realm. I don't think you ever see it in a first party realm, I'll be honest with you. But it's refreshing, especially with what's going on between Pokemon Company, Nintendo, and Palworld. The fact that they're still able to continue to push out this game until whatever happens. I am curious to see what happens by the time this game launches, what kind of landscape this game is going to be in terms of is something going to happen to where they aren't allowed to release it, or are they going to have to take out more things in the game in order for it to be able to launch per whatever, I don't know if if that whole lawsuit ends up being settled outside of court, but I can definitely see it being settled outside of court. The game itself was also like heavily marketed, well, not heavily, but like it was decently marketed by Xbox. I remember when like that first trailer dropped, and then we started to see it more and more promoted by Microsoft. And that right there was a big indicator of like, oh, whoa, hold on. You have like a very large company kind of like backing this up. Holy crap. Question. Did this game ever make it to Game Pass by chance? Also, we have an ad break coming up in 50 seconds. Because if it is in a form of early access on Game Pass, excuse me, that's impressive alone. And they have to be making enough for them to be able to have these several small teams to work on other projects and open up a publishing company to be able to work with other developers. That's really nice to see. It did go on a Game Pass. Okay, so yeah, they are doing pretty good for themselves. I'm curious to see what happens in the next 6 to 8 months. I think for me personally, my opinion, they'll be around. I think whatever other things they may need to take out will get taken out and it gets settled outside of court. I think that'll end up being what the decision is, because it's one of those things where I can see Nintendo doing this just to kind of prove a point. But Nintendo and Pokemon Company, I have to clarify, it's both of them together working on this. In terms of, you know, the lawsuit that's going on. So we'll find. I don't know how soon we find out anything, but I don't think we hear anything until like either this game is close to launching or early next year. You know, squints. Anka, I'm squinting right back. Anka, you got me with wrinkles on my forehead out here. I got no hair product. I can't find my pomade out here. I'm fighting for my life out here, you know? Oh yeah, what's going on in here? We were talking about so much gaming news over here. We looked at the Palworld stuff. Now we're on to what everybody was asking about earlier. We saved the best for last. We're here in the main event. We're doing the steel cage match out here. We're fighting mano a mano out here. Everyone seems to be mad at SilkSong and not the fans. For some reason or another, you keep hearing another day, another developer wants to freaking complain about moving their game date or blaming SilkSong or whatever to end up to as to why their game isn't going to drop in said month because of this shadow drop. And most recently, although some were very supportive and even did creative ways as to like implement the character that's in SilkSong. Forgive me, I don't know the character's name, but that character within like their game, which I thought is like really cute. I saw like 3 of those around when the game actually launched. But the most recent one, Hell Is Us director calls out Hollow Knight SilkSong shadow drop release date a little callous, and I'm like, brother, what? Exactly. I need everyone's thoughts on this as I read along, and then I'll give y'all my thoughts on top of it. But I feel like a lot of us will align on this one on a lot of levels. But please, y'all go show Anka some damn love. Anka out here doing the damn thing, has been working incredibly hard on her cosplay that she got premiering next month. Is going to be awesome. She's got DreamHack for a cosplay competition. I know she's gonna kill that shit. I already, the way I see the vision every time I'm like peeping streaming, you're working on something, dog. Nah, you're gonna kill this. Dead ass. You are gonna kill this. Also, we got a panel next Wednesday. I forgot that in the housekeeping notes. I'm gonna add that in for tomorrow's housekeeping notes for sure, or Friday, whichever day we end up doing the streamies on. But not gonna lie, I'm really nervous about it. Nervous is good. Nervous is good because nervous means you care, and nervous means you gonna make it work out here. I don't know why I'm rubbing my stomach, but like, I don't know. I get hungry when I get nervous, and then I poop. Jules, what's going on? You didn't hear any of what I just said. You didn't hear any of just what I said. Oh, I heard. Listen, we'll rewind it back. We'll take it back. We'll take it back. We'll take it back. We'll take it back to the way back. We'll take it back to the way back. We'll take it back to the way back. No. We gotta rewind that. We gotta rewind that. Me perceiving why I gotta. Oh, that's not a gun. That's a camera, huh? That escalated real quick. Listen, I'm from the Lower East Side. Everything looks like a gun to. Oh my god. Y'all, please go show Hychel some love. Oh my goodness. Co-working extraordinaire out here. I hope you've been well, homie. Contacting my emo artist now, but not me giving you the idea. No. Great, she's gonna come back with a blicky. Oh no. I better pull mine out of my closet, man. Oh no, not Theon mode out here. Damn, nah, I'm about to get hit with pots and pans left and right out here. We women gotta protect ourselves. Listen, factuals. But damn. Oh my gosh. This went down the rails out here. Also, thank you all for the follows. Welcome to the Afterwork crew. We keep followers anonymous. You're more than welcome to yap away over here. For those who are just coming in that may not be familiar, we just started up last week. I finally bit the bullet and I decided, hey, I put my foot down and we're starting back up the podcasting at the beginning of streams before we get into the gaming. It's something I have not done in quite literally years. So I've dubbed it being an informal podcast. We call it That One Show, aka TOS After Work. So I like to make my names not serious at all. And then I upload these a little slightly edited over on YouTube. So that way it gets rid of like the rated videos and like mid conversations like this and stuff like that. So I do the damn thing. Also, yes, happy Hispanic Heritage Month out here. Kings, queens, and non-binary royalties out here dropping elbows off the top rope like Macho Man Randy Savage. Me not Macho Man. He's dropping the elbow at the top row. I don't know where that came from. Happy what now? One call and it's Jover. That's insane. Listen, listen, I was born in the city, but I am of Puerto Rican and Mexican background, all right? I may be a new Sabo kid, but still, you know, we dropping elbows out here. I'm watching AEW right now, Luchador match. Hey, let's go. Wait, who's wrestling? Who's wrestling? Who you got wrestling over there? Pretend this is a gun, Omar. Jules, get him. Get him. Take him down. Take him down. Why you want to shoot at me? It's wildfire out here.
Get yourself a new life.
Nah, Jules really said, hold on. I'm going to take you to the back corner over here and just... Oh, that soundbite is so long. I don't know when it ends. Oh my God. That poor lady got really beat up by a bunch of brooms though. Like that was supposed to be brooms beating up a lady being dragged up a staircase by two little kids. I don't know. That game was wild. I'm glad we finished it. I looked back at some of those clips and I was like, man, I can't post these anywhere. I'm like being careful of like what I cut to make content out of. I'm just like, I think I just got to scrap it. This shit is wild. We got beat up by a sandal and a wooden spoon. Too real, Eddie. Too real. Oh my gosh. Where were we at? Let me pull up my notes again. Hold on. All right. Oh no. Okay. That's the right link. I just want to make sure I have all my links here. See, I have my notes over here. Wait, this doesn't show my name, right? So on my other monitor, I pull up these notes over here. These are my show notes. And then I had to be careful. I was like, wait, does it show my full name? And that's where I'm looking at to reference everything. So all right. So yes, Hell is Us director calls out Hollow Knight, SilkSong, Shadow Drop release date a little callous. So let's see what reasoning they give. I want to give them the benefit of the doubt, but also at the end of the day, business is business, right? So let's read, let's react, let's have this conversation, right? The shadow drop announcement of Hollow Knight SilkSong's release date of September 4th, 2025 was less than a celebratory day for developers around 10 other video games with existing marketing plans to launch around the same time. As we summarized at the time, it impacted the release of a number of games like excuse me, sorry, that was a burp. Number of games like Demon School, Eternal Lucius, Little Witch in the Woods, Cloverpot, Megabonk, Baby Steps, Phalanx. Baby Steps, really? And Eterna, those are two completely different games. All right. Phalanx, Starbirds, and Moros Protocol. Even Stompa and the Sword of Miracles, an indie game with no release date plans anywhere in sight, elected to delay its Kickstarter launch and demo due to SilkSong. I have thoughts, but we'll just keep reading. Now in an episode of Friends Per Second, as spotted by This Week in Video Games, Hellas us Jonathan Jacques Bellicese. I butchered that and I apologized. Said of Team Cherry, when you know you're that big, I think a shadow drop is a bit like, wow. As the GTA 6 of indie, to shadow drop something like this is a little callous. Jacques, or Jacques? Man, Wiccan, help me. I believe this is French. But while he admitted there was a flurry of emails and texts and messages back and forth between a lot of people, between us and our publisher, it was a real thing. We decided to keep the date, and I'm happy that we did. We're still much bigger than some of the smaller ones who would have gotten a lot more affected and who decided to change their dates. Changing the date of Hell Is Us would have been a pretty big endeavor, he explained. The real pain in the ass is that when you have to refund your pre-orders when you do that, right? That's the real, how are you going to do this? Now you need to rebuild them. We didn't say, oh my God, we have to do it, but we can't because of that. We were like, no, I think we can get through this storm. Honestly, it's not just SilkSong. There was Chronos, The New Dawn. It was a busy time. That's the thing nowadays, honestly. Getting a window where you're pretty much alone is almost impossible. 15 years ago, the mid-end of the summer was always a dead period, but there's no such thing anymore. It just causes madness. Hell is us, isn't that okay? No. Interestingly, some developers who are also changing their release windows are going out of the way to say the change in their schedule isn't anything to do with SilkSong 2, which also there have been people that have been saying that is the reason why. So it goes both ways. For example, Slay the Spire 2 was recently delayed to March 2026, but the team proactively refuted any suggestion it was because of SilkSong. Whew. All right. There's some things to unpack there, which it's one thing to delay a game because of brushing up a game, making it seem better or polishing it up enough to where you feel like it's good enough for a release. And then there's another thing to just blatantly say that, hey, it's because this game is out, we all want to celebrate this game, we're gonna move our dates as well. But then it's a whole other thing to also say, why the fuck did you drop your game the same day as mine? That's like saying, why are you streaming the same time I'm streaming? Like, it doesn't make sense. There's enough room on the plate for everybody. And the Hell Is Us is a completely different game from what Hollow Knight is, which is a completely different game from the Eternus series, which is a completely different game from Baby Steps. I'm just trying to understand I'm trying to put myself in some of these people's shoes, and it's kind of hard because like it's a business decision, and it's also like a shadow, like it's not a shadow drop because they did give a date. Granted, it was a month-ish before release. A shadow drop would imply that, hey, the game is out now, go download it. That would have fucked over everybody. But even then, it's a business move at the end of the day. And it's like, yes, all these indies are much smaller companies. Some of them are one or two people. And you do have to make a decision at the end of the day of like, okay, we have X amount of pre-orders. Do we want to push this game out? Does it seem like we're not taking much of a hit if we do that to refund everybody? Or do we go through with this game anyway at the end of the day? Like, these are all business decisions, right? And I just, to kind of like slight like put the not yeah, put the blame on SilkSong to be like, bah, you should have never released your game now, or you should have given a proper release date so we can work around our dates or whatever. I get the working hand in hand sometimes with, like, trying to make sure everybody eats, but also like there how can you, when he said it, they said it themselves, when the market is so flooded with indie games, with first parties, with third parties, I should take out first parties, honestly, uh, with third parties and indies, it's impossible to find a date. Like, this isn't 2 generations ago where it was Xbox Arcade Live, Summer of Arcade, where you had a release date for X, Y, and Z indie games going up because they were marketing the hell out of indie games on the 360. And then September, it was a lull period because everybody's back in school. And then, like, it would pick back up in later October to November, and that'd be like your final holiday rush to make games. The business has evolved from that immensely, and it's in part due to everybody wants things now sort of thing, and we're kind of in that situation of where we are today because more and more and more and more and more, unfortunately, but that's a whole other story. I'm gonna pick it up over here and see what y'all got to say, because I it's such a wild thing to to blame an indie dev for, for that. But I also, with all fairness, I will say I will need to listen to this episode of this podcast because I've heard of Friends Per Second. I feel like I might know one of the people that are on there. Not personally, I just mean like know of them. And if it's the person that I'm thinking of, yeah, Jeff Kanata is on there. Oh, it's okay, wait, hold on. Okay, it's hosted by Jake Baldino. He has a YouTube channel. I watch him. Lucy James. I know of Lucy James. I think they worked at IGN at one point. I think if that's who I'm thinking of. And an individual named Ralph. Just Ralph is the name. That is not Jeff Kanata there. He very much looked like Jeff Kanata. I didn't see the hair in the distance. Okay, so it's not him. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna have to listen to that episode because what happens also sometimes is the way they say it, you don't hear it in this like article, right? So that's the only thing I will give a benefit of doubt is what else did they say after that? Because they're taking excerpts from the podcast, but also reading what we're seeing here, it's not nothing new that we haven't seen in the last week of like people saying that they have delayed their gains because of X, Y, and Z, right? Uh in the words of Ric Flair, to be the man, you gotta beat the hold on. I got you, Eddie. Oh man, Beast Mortal versus Dorada. I think that's his name. Ooh, excuse me. No, I already know that's gonna be a good match. Morto. Sorry, AEW. I had to catch that. Um, it didn't impact anything. Those devs chose on their own to move their release dates, and they didn't have to. Yeah, like there's options, right? Like, yes, the worst case scenario, you push the eject button, right? And I feel like that was the reactionary impulse to do. Was SilkSong gonna do gangbusters? Absolutely. It broke the Steam store it broke all the stores, to be honest, as far as like people waiting for this game, right? I get that, but I think in a world where you're also like trying to release a game, that could have maybe also helped them. Like, yeah, they see SilkSong, but maybe they see this other game that is up their alley of interest, right? A lot of the algorithms of how all these stores work sometimes will show something recommended for you based on the genres that you play. So who's to say one of those games couldn't have shown up automatically because of their past gaming history and been like, yes, I'm gonna get that too, It does happen, and sometimes, and more times than not, people do wait for sales, but on the off chance, there's always that one, right? They were scared of the competition. They were closer to Jack. Wait, hold on, I missed something here. Oh, to Jacques. Jacques. Okay, I got what you were saying there. Thank you. Oh man. Okay, this is gonna be hard to do in English. I was like, beltet, beltet, beltet. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna fuck that up. That's like 5 curses in like in 30 seconds. My bad. Oh man, my Andrea says, "All poor babies did SilkSong F your feelings with no regard." So when AAA game companies do it, no one complains. So, and that is a perfect point as well. Is this happens with? I'm sure this happens with AAA games more often than not. A lot of times, especially like for instance, I think everyone was trying to keep away from GTA 6 when it was originally supposed to come out in well no, I don't even think it had a release date officially. It still said 2025 and everybody was waiting to see like when. And so the fact that they slapped on that May 2026 release date, I still think that game's coming out fall 2026, but we'll see. um Rockstar likes to take their time with games. They are not, they are a company that is not afraid to delay games to make sure that it is at, they're the they're the personification of like them trying to perfect a game but then still updating and making it even better afterwards. That's what they do. That's what they do with all with a good chunk of their games as of late. I say that, but it's like GTA 5 since PS3. So there's that as well. Um to blame it on the release of another game though is bratty behavior. In this particular case, the way it was phrased here, absolutely. Absolutely, yeah. It's like, come on, man. And then I mean, they still released their game, Hell Is Us, which again, a game with similar tones, but it's a 3D environment. It's more action RPG than from my understanding of Hell Is Us. That one I still plan to pick up. I'm waiting a little bit while longer, but yeah. That I'm just waiting for all these other games to drop that I do want to like immediately play before I pick up Hell Is Us because I'm just like, this is out of control. These next 2 months are out of control. I'm being very, very careful with my wallet, you know? If they did their marketing right, none of that would be the issue. They're making it out to be that too, but it's also, that part, yes. And then the other part of like, some of these developers don't have the luxury of a marketing budget as well. I don't know if any of these companies that were mentioned on the list that Jacques put out was or said during this podcast was anything that was worked on by like 1 or 2 people, sort of thing. Like perfect example is Axiom Verge is made by one person. It's a Metroidvania 2D 16-bit art style and made by one individual. There's 2 games of those so far. And the dude literally did everything and there was super minimal marketing on it, but people were craving the Metroidvania enough that they wanted it, that they wanted to play that, and the word of mouth goes a long way. And word of mouth definitely spread with that one for sure as well. So that was huge. That got them to make a lot of money out of that game as well. I'm sure they did gangbusters enough to where they ended up dropping a physical through limited run, and that was a whole thing. Where's my? I have it somewhere over here. I think it's right here. Hold on. Yep. Boom. Man, they did this. I do recommend Axiom Verge for all of my Metroidvania heads. Or it's a great game. I still got to play the second one, but yeah, that one is insane. Can you do it in Spanish? Maybe easier to stick to the romance language is nuts. It was not a shadow drop. Yeah, that's the other thing too, is it got a good 3-4 weeks in terms of that. Granted, yes, more other release dates generally do give you like a few months advance notice, but also they gave a date, and considering how long it's taken for this game to come out, people were starting to not believe that that date was even going to be the date. Me included. I was like, I'm not believing that's coming out until it actually shows up in the store. Oh yeah. It's not personal, it's business. Business is a dog eat dog world. Yeah, literally that. Honestly, it sounds like they're afraid their game won't stand up to the competition, which is pretty damning. Yeah, it definitely sounds like there was a little bit of a lack of confidence for sure. I can see that. I can see that. Because they put out to, oh, hold on. Why is this pin not? Oh my gosh, hold on. Let me fix my chat box. It's like not going. Okay, I just can't see Eddie's comment. That's fantastic. Because they put out bad games and something complaining about the scraps. I mean, let's not go that far. We don't know if it's bad. I mean, Hell is Us, I think, did decent in reviews also as well, but in terms of like some of the other games, I don't think anything they mentioned there was like necessarily like shovelwaresy. There were known titles that were supposed to be coming out for the most part. It's like I know the Eterna series. Baby Steps was that game where you're like doing the Octodad thing and like you got different buttons, different controls of them walking around and stuff like that. And like that's the whole thing. It's made from the Getting Over It people, the rock climbing joint. That's them. Uh Also, you can't go around changing release dates willy-nilly. Investors in the market are depending on you holding your release dates when you announce that, but also it's dependent on if you're self-publishing or if usually with like indie games, I don't know what the process all is, but I'd imagine it's a little bit more lenient with when they're being released because a lot of times these people are working just with like their budget, you know, within their own means or on their off time and then finding a way to actually like get out there. I don't know if early access games, I know this is a completely different topic, but I don't know if early access games allow you to just like self drop into there. I feel like you are, but I know that that's sometimes a way for people to get enough so that way they can kind of like pump out elsewhere and then launch a game. Use that as a means to like help upstart the rest of the game, sort of thing. It's free marketing, it's competition, it's part of the game. It's got everybody talking too, but it's also got everybody talking in a way that it seems like, man, we're giving some of these people like when you start mentioning other games and other indie developers, you kind of make it sound like you're talking for them, and I don't think that was the intention, but it puts everybody in a bad place in that sense, you know. The whole speaking for all when like they didn't want any piece of that battle, they just wanted to do their thing and then go away at the end of the day and like come back another time, you know. Because they didn't have to do any of that. They chose to do that on their own. Broke the stores for folks. Broke the stores for folks to spend $20. That's the crazy part. It was like $20. That is a steal and a half. Charms, what's going on? Also, Charms, what was that video you sent me? That was insane. $20 full game that's highly anticipated will break any store. Imagine if the physical version was available at launch, dude. The lines for that would be nuts. There's no way they don't drop a physical for that game, or like do the same thing they did with Hollow Knight, where they dropped a plushie of the main character and then just had a voucher code inside the thing, and that was like them selling the game. That was a pretty neat idea. At least you got something physical with it, you know. Ooh, excuse me. True, but poor gameplay and glitches at launch cost more money. That is very fair too. Raxon, what's going on? Hot. I've seen FF14 push their release because other games were coming out. Like, you know, and that's fine. It's just more the fact that they, so Raxon, you're coming in the middle of this, but the whole thing was the the Hell is Us director said that them announcing the date, they called it a shadow drop, which it wasn't, but they called the release, the announcement date of SilkSong Callous. And it's like That's an interesting choice of words there. It's like it's one thing to delay a game because other games are coming out and you're moving on with it, but when you're moving on and then like still yelling back at the person that released their date and it's like, bah, humbug, you ruined my chances or whatever. That's where it gets a little goofy, you know? I mean, marketing nowadays is as simple as TikTok, IG, constantly posting. I know there's more, but that works. That, but you also have to spend money on like pushing out those videos too, and that gets pricey. Those prices on pushing out ads for your videos to be like, to like boost it up, it's a pretty penny. That can get very expensive very quickly. Like, yeah, you can try to bank on that going viral, but what usually is the case is they'll upload a video and then they'll pay for the promotion through like YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, whatever it is, and spend X amount of money on pushing out that video to go everywhere that it needs to go to targeted audiences. Sure, but they've done that knowing their devs will be playing those games too. I think even WoW has done that, which makes sense. Yes. But yeah, it just goes back to the point of like this dude is just being very loud. So it seems, you know. Oh man. Let's see. Like Lambo said, we don't do commercials because you aren't the market we want. Fair enough. I also don't know what we're signing with. Imagine being mad at a team of 3 people who are more successful than other AAA releases. Yeah, I mean, this wasn't a AAA developer. This was another indie developer. Like his whole case is that there were other games that were planning to launch. They ended up launching their game. I mean, Hell is Us is out. It seems like, yeah, no, Chronos he mentions in here, or they mention in here. Um, Yeah, it's real pain in the ass that you have to refund your pre-orders. Yep, we talked about that. Sorry, I'm like backtracking, trying to find this specific quote. Uh, Here we go. Hell's Us is John. Oh, how did I miss a whole word? Jonathan Jacques Beltete said of Team Cherry, when you know you're that big, I think a shadow drop is a bit like wow. The shadow drop is something as the GTA 6 of indie, to shadow drop something like this is a little callous. That's the line from the podcast. Which again, I will have to listen to that podcast to see if there's anything that's like taken out of context there, but it just like it keeps adding on. There's like multiple phrases where it's like, oh, okay, this is a vent. This is a vent for sure. Oh man. Yeah, glad you mentioned that. When you self-publish, you have a little more fluidity. Yeah, that part, you know? Oh yeah. I love coming in the middle. Wait, what? Draxon? Hello? PG 13. Which is another problem with their development cycle just being oh wait, hold on. Now they're rushing to meet release deadline. Yeah, no, that's a whole other story, like having a crunch to meet deadlines and stuff like that. That's a whole other uh separate thing. Thankfully, that's not what happened here, at least. they I will say credit to the folks working on SilkSong, because man, they took their time when that was supposed to be DLC and made it into a full game. Whew, my goodness. Also, Jomar, what's going on, homie? Yep, at the company, we do boosting for a few clients on Facebook and Instagram. Boom, Jomar, you came in at the perfect time, dog. Uh, and for YouTube, we do YouTube ads boosting. Boom. See, I was like, man, who's coming? Raxon's coming, apparently. Uh, we're just floating in the same orbits. It's a beautiful thing. Shadow Drop is doing a lot of heavy lifting and breaking its own back. Yeah, like when you say "and it's out now," that's what a Shadow Drop is. I don't think you could like that's like being too loose with the term at that point. It's like, you had about a month. They gave a release date announcement. It's not the first time, and it won't be the last time someone does that, you know? Especially when it's a game that people have been like clamoring for, and like you want to make sure that they must have been cutting down to the wire on like finishing that game to then say it's coming out on this date or something like that. So, people are enjoying the games, people are having fun with them, and I think that is the most important thing at the end of the day. We got one more thing before we end it here on Toss, and then we'll flip on over to Oz Your Dreams afterwards. But I want to thank everybody for hanging on out and having good conversations for these last few episodes that we've been doing. I've been uploading these over onto YouTube as well, so if you missed either of them, either of the first two episodes, I didn't put up the pilot because the pilot at this point is just like news that doesn't make sense to have posted up on there anymore. It was our Nintendo Direct prediction soon. That's already happened. So we'll just kind of try to keep it as current as possible. But they do have timestamps is what I was going to say. So everything is stamped out. I do make some slightly goofy titles for what is talking about at each section sort of thing. So so forgive me. That's me at 3 a.m. losing my mind and just trying to have fun with the metadata of it all. We're going to go on to our moment of whatever, and it is a video from MightKeef. Speaking of developer slash publishers that love to argue with everybody. We got MightKeef talking about doing a skit on Randy Pitchford when anyone criticizes Borderlands 4. So let's check this out.
I am
MightKeef
I'm
never
really
misses.
loving your game, Randy. Borderlands 4 is fantastic so far.
Oh, thank you so much.
I mean, a lot of my issues from Borderlands 3 have been alleviated. I love the looting, the combat, the story. All the Vault Hunters feel fun to play.
Well, hey, we strive to make the best experience for our fans.
Yeah, man. Honestly, the only
And with the
issue
suit on
is the
kills me.
performance is pretty bad.
Oh!
But that's really it, man. Honestly, everything else is perfect. Performance issue that a lot of people have, because in some parts of the game, it's not even playable. You know what I mean? Like, we're dropping to like 2015 or so frames
He's not
per
hearing
second.
nothing.
You know what I mean? And that's just for PC. I can only imagine what it's like on console, where you can't even really tweak the performances.
No!
You think making a video game is easy? Huh? Why don't you go make a video game, you stupid bitch?
Oh my god.
I want you to listen to me, okay? Every PC gamer must understand the reality of the relationship between their hardware and the software that's running on it. Well, what does that got to do with the console performance? Borderlands is a premium game made for premium gamers, not broke-ass niggas like you. Randy, I spent $130 on the Super Deluxe Edition. I had to give up groceries this month. Randy, all you got to do is give up a few more months of groceries, and then maybe you can buy yourself some good hardware. Well, Randy, we're not even saying the game is bad. We're just asking you to improve the experience for the customer. I don't have to make the experience better. You just need to learn how to use frame gen, moron. Randy, only 40 and 50 gen cards have frame gen. Plus, that's a luxury, man. You shouldn't need frame gen just to make the game playable. That's it. No more shift codes for you peons. Randy, please get off Twitter and just fix your goddamn game. If you don't like this masterpiece I made, just refund the game, ugly. I don't want to refund the game. I just want to loot and shoot in something that doesn't look like a slideshow.
Oh! Wait, he changed haircuts!
And tell us how that's done, please. We'll be your customers when you pull it off. The people doing it now are clearly dumb. All the support and recommendations from the world's greatest hardware companies, working with the world's greatest real-time graphics engine coders, don't know what you seem to know.
It's the old video of him in a different haircut. It's crazy.
Does anybody else have an issue with Borderlands 4?
No.
Oh,
Nope.
ooh.
There would be no issues at all if you just got better PCs. Bitch.
Or that's just crazy.
Oh my God, MightKeef never misses, dog. Yeah. That man is a menace, y'all. Okay. We're gonna end it here for the YouTube side, but we're still streaming. Don't worry, don't go anywhere. Thank you all for hanging on out. That is That One Show. I do these on Twitch at the beginning of streams, and then we get into the gaming afterwards. So if you want to see us live, twitch.tv/JoAfterWork. Do all the things, like, subscribe, share with your friends, let them know what we do here. Also, hyping is a thing now as well. So if I have that on my video, do the hype thing, I guess. I don't know. As I say these words, the little sparkles should show up wherever it is. But with that said, take care. Love y'all. And remember, fight for your dreams. And don't piss off Randy Pitchford.